Good morning, everybody. It's COOLA from Rawstocks and another edition of our pre-market prep. I hope everyone has a great morning, and let's get into it today. So, waking up today, I think the story of the evening, really, in the day, is Apple. I mean, look at this rocket that came all the way to 218, 71. 220 is probably going to be your wall there. We're not going to really cover this, but I do think it's interesting. Take a look at the daily chart here. Massive candle off of the lows here. And yeah, really pressing into this little island right here. A little bit of a pivot point right here at this 220 mark. I imagine it's going to have a little bit of a hard time. So if you're looking for probably a layup short, probably 220, and just kind of look at it. But anyways, taking a look at SPX. Sorry, wrong chart. Taking a look at SPX here on the daily, you can see a strong little recovery back over the top of the daily 4 and the daily 20, and now we're seeing a little bit of a gap up towards the high side. So was this a bear market or a bear flag like everyone was saying? Potentially. I mean, I still think that there's a chance of that, but anytime we have, these harmonics right here, that generally signifies that we're going to go up and really generally squeeze to like an all-time high. We use these for reversals. They're all over the place. You'll see them printed everywhere when you get to catch these little harmonics like this. So nice little bullish move. We're catching a lot of green data, and we'll take a look at it. So today, in regards to data, clearly we see initial jobless claims that came up. Did you ever think there wouldn't be anything that said that today? Did you ever? Uh, we're just talking about it. There's no way those were coming in bad. Anyways, Fed starts speaking, or Fed Bostic starts speaking in about an hour. It's 30 minutes after the open. Same time, wholesale inventories come out, wholesale trade sales come out. This is important. It's not a big money mover, but it is important, and it does happen at 9 o'clock or 30 minutes after the open. So this is going to be an area where they can punch the market, right? And then additionally, you have at 11:30. I'm trying to remember if this is. I'm struggling because I don't remember if this is in what time zone this is in here. Okay, so those are at. That's my bad. So this is wholesale, yeah, at 9 o'clock. And then we have the auctions at 10:30 or 10:30 Central. Nothing crazy here, but the 30 years definitely going to impact mortgages at noon. That's a bigger one. And it looks like Trump speaks at the end of the market, and we have the Fed balance sheet after the market closes. So that's what we got for today in the macros. All right. A little shout out to our sponsors, Black Box Stocks. Without those guys, we would not be able to. Black Box Stocks and Gamma Edge. Without those guys, we would not be able to provide this to you guys every single day for free. So shout out to those guys. All right, let's get right into it. Let's get right into what we're seeing today. Okay. So we have a very much call dominated look today on the SPX. Overhead shorts are not really existent right here. Some walls are, let's just put it like this. This is that general bullish consensus look here. There's no hard wall. 63.70 is going to be that for us. I think we're probably already over the top of that, or maybe not. I have to take a look. But we're definitely bullish here. Over the top of this, when you start looking at the full complex here, there's definitely green for 6,400 here and 6,500. 6,500 is definitely still the top dog there, but 6,400 has grown tremendously. And 63.45 is kind of our pivot point for the upside on full complex. So keep an eye on that for the full complex pivot point. And some of these targets have shrank, 6,200 especially. So this right here, I think, is JP Morgan's position. But yeah, when you start looking at this, some of these have shrank. So it's not, if we snap back under 63.40, sure. But overall, we're really bullish here for an attempt at 6,400 and potentially 6,500 short term. Okay, so that covers that. So let's, here, let me leave this here and we do this right here. Let's go to our intraday chart. What the hell is this? Okay. Intraday chart here. We're looking at 15-minute. Let's see where we're opening. Then update this chart. I'm not gonna. 63.67, right around top of this range, bottom of that sell down. Okay. Okay, so we're right in this range. Okay. So we need to be cognizant of this. If we're opening up near this range, if we're opening up near this range here, this is where a lot of times this, this selling all began, right? This was your high here and it sold here. So we've made it back to that initial sell down right here. And we're into this area here. So we need to watch as 63.70 is our gamma wall based on what we've seen. I find it more likely in these days that we find ourselves not holding these and pressing into zones like this. Okay, so our support down here. So I think if you did swing calls or something, it is probably a decent idea to lock up some profits if it's like expiring today or tomorrow. Look to lock up some of those profits right here, because we could see this thing pull back down towards 63.45 and then see a bullish move off of the top of these levels here. If you want to try the 63.70 support level here, then that's fine. You need to understand that you're playing just the gamma squeeze. The range below is our main area. Okay, so when we're starting looking at what's going on here, you need to know that this is our play zone. This is all potential gamma squeeze. Everything leads up to 6,400 plus. But yeah, I mean, you're starting right here. This is what you would have, this is our wall. So it's no great play for you to enter a call here. Even right here is not great. Oh my God. Risk versus reward. I'm having troubles this morning. But anyways, so watch for that. If you do lose this pivot zone here at 63.45, 63.40, then I would be relatively bearish towards 63.10 retest. But I highly doubt that we're going to lose this if we do slip into this range. I find it more likely than not that this is probably a great area for a buy, and look to hold this area for a retest at 63.70, back up to potentially 6,400 plus. We could reach all-time highs today. Okay, this is possible. It all kind of depends on how the market goes, but it's definitely within range. Okay, if this thing does not break through our 63.70 on the way down, or we don't slip it before open, then keep an eye on this to become a day, like a directional day. 6,400 is clearly going to be a large key area for us. But if we snap right through 6,400, don't be surprised. Okay, don't be surprised. We've got Apple running. We've got Nvidia going to be probably making all-time highs shortly. Don't be surprised to see it snap through 6,400. If it doesn't break through here, this means there's tremendous amount of volume and momentum going into this range. I wouldn't be surprised here. It's kind of like how we snap through, where was it? Kind of how we snapped through 6,300 right here, right on this day. We just snapped right through it. It was only a few candles, maybe 5 minutes worth of candles, and we were right through 6,300 on the first visit here, right? So wouldn't be surprised to see that same type of move here. Okay, moving on. Tesla, nice little squeeze yesterday. If you guys did play the calls off the 307.5 open, like we were talking about, got that push up to 315. I got shook out at about a 311, 312. Basically, I was watching the S&P and Nvidia start to lose some key areas, and I just said, well, let's just profit take. Let's just profit take. And then the next thing you know, I was down to one contract, and I said, "All right, we started with 5, started closing out near up in this range, and did not catch this full move. So I got shook out a little bit by seeing some things dump in key levels, but ultimately Tesla did go exactly where we thought, 315 all the way, and it actually got the squeeze to 320. Well, what are we looking at today on Tesla? Let's take a look at it. Yeah, Apple was a great one. Lauren, it was a great one. Okay, so call dominated on Tesla. 330 is the upside here. 300 is the demand. This is just one of those ones where, like I said, everything looks green, green, green today. It's a rocket type of day. Will that be the case moving forward? Probably at all-time highs. If we don't get some type of intraday data drop on us or some big play, this thing looks solid to run through the rest of the week. Now, next week is interesting. We might cover that tomorrow, but today, what we're seeing is just a massive amount of green, a massive amount of bulls stepping up. Now, a lot of times, this can cause walls, but when it's staggered and stacked like this and ascending, it is something where we generally see some type of level of squeeze and potentially even chop when we don't have a clear direction. But I think everyone's so bullish today, I think it's probably going to just run. So 330 to the upside. Low side's 310 here for Tesla. So we'll split this. Positive support slides up to 310 here. 300 is your floor still, so nothing changes there. Your positive support is at 312.5. Excuse me. 312.5. And then we have a negative shelf here at 310. Negative shelf. Okay, so expands to 330. And I know we've got some people, I think we've got some people looking or in some calls swinging for 325. I think that's a pretty good play. Honestly, I think it's a pretty good play. I think you're probably going to find ourselves potentially just rocketing off of open. But if it does retest, say like this 312 area here, it's not a bad area. When we talked about SPX maybe selling down back towards that pivot point for us, you might see something like that with Tesla. If you do get that 312.5 area, I don't think that's a bad buy or a bad lotto entry. Okay. You don't really want to get crazy there. Okay. But I don't think it's a bad area to take a little bit of a lotto. It's not as clear and defined if this thing falls down like that, that it would be a major bounce area. So, limping small in that range, I think you could have a pretty decent play for a recovery back towards 320 plus. Okay. Looking at Nvidia, 181.59 right now pre-market. We broke through the 180 resistance here, positive support at 177.5, gamma walls at 180.85. I don't think anything's changed here. This has kind of been the name of the game right here. 185, big wall here. Yep, nothing's really changed. 185 supply, 175 demand here. Transitional areas at 177.5. Your wall is at 185. So a high level chance of a retest back at 180 for a move up towards 185. Okay. That's got a high level chance of that. Don't be surprised to see some, some sellers sitting at the all-time highs right here. Okay. Don't be surprised to see that. But 180 to 185 is kind of what we're seeing today. If it slips 180, again, it would have to be a pretty strong sell through 180 for me to think anything bad about today. But if that does happen, I guess you could short. If you're just in a long, you could look to hedge, or I don't know if I would close along with anything, the data that we're seeing with NVIDIA, especially if you're holding like actual shares. But if you're just in swing calls, still a green light, nothing indicating that this thing's losing life at this point. So I imagine when we hit 200, that's probably when you'll start to see some options, some swing options close somewhere in that range. Okay. All right. So we've got the plan for today. Hopefully this was helpful. And if you are not a member of our community, then I want you to take a moment. I want you to go to wap.com/Rawstocks. That is wap.com/Rawstocks. It's right here, top of your screen here. Come take a look at us. We've got a 7-day promo where you can come and trade with us for seven days, $7. That's great value. That's great value. Take a look at the reviews with us. Listen to our traders. Come join the free one. We have a totally free Discord that you can come and join. You can come chat with us. Come join there. Ask if it's worth it. We believe so. We believe we bring an edge to the market, unlike anybody else out there. We believe we have some of the best traders in this Discord, and come find out for yourselves. So appreciate you listening. Make sure you subscribe and follow and like and share and do all that stuff. Let's grow this community. And until next time, we'll catch you later.